And mic check. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another stream. Happy, what is it? Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Hi. I hope everyone's having a good middle of your week. It's another day of streaming for us. I don't know. I'm a man outside of time right now. It's just one of those weeks, you know. I have the week off, so I am on my own schedule. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here so I'm not taking up like half the screen. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of Elite Dangerous today. I kind of wanted to get back into it because I haven't played it in a little bit. I am out in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where I am. I was originally going to do No Man's Sky, and they put out an update on the experimental branch that is really cool, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. But unfortunately, it has some kind of nasty bugs in it because it is the experimental branch. So for our space simming, this is what we're going to be doing today. Like I said, I have genuinely no clue where I am. I am vaguely around the center of the galaxy somewhere. I'm just kind of going out and exploring, so I figured, you know, this would be just kind of a nice, yeah, there we go. I'm vaguely making my way over to Sagae. I think I'm going to hit that up before making my way back to the bubble and turning in a bunch of exploration data and that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, I'm just kind of vaguely out here and just roaming around. I'm having a good time just exploring and trying to find some cool stars, and that's most of what I've done in this game so far, is just to go out to the middle of nowhere where no one else has been and see what I can find. You know, for me, a lot of this stuff it's all about the screenshots, right? I'm very much a photographer at heart, so I'm out here just trying to find, you know, whatever cool screenshots we can get. Maybe find some cool planets, find something interesting that maybe has never been discovered before, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been having a good time with it. I have no complaints. I am kind of scared because I haven't played in a while, and after playing No Man's Sky, I have to get back into the controls here because it's much more sensitive. Oh, there we go. It is a lot more sensitive, so you got to be a little careful. You know, most of these areas that I'm going can kill me with just the slightest twitch of a hand. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with out here in the black. But you know, I'm always all for exploration and trying to find new things. So yeah, we're just gonna go out and have some fun. You know, thanks a ton for everybody that has stopped by and, you know, been supporting me this all this time. I know last night's stream was a little scuffed. It was not up to my usual standards when it comes to my guitar stuff. But, you know, I hadn't played in a while, and I don't mind being a little scuffed on stream. I really don't. I've said a billion times that I'm not the best guitar player in the world. That's why they're listed as practice streams, right? But it was nice to get back in and actually play some new stuff. So you know, thanks for everyone that came by and took a look and enjoyed it. It didn't take long to get the old UMG strike. It's, I think most content creators are probably used to it at some point in their careers. But yeah, it was fun. You know, hopefully the next time it'll be a little bit better. I want to do more guitar streams. I've been trying to pick it up a little bit more lately so that we can get some stuff done when it comes to the new model and all of that stuff. I have not had any updates since the sketches. If I don't get any by this weekend or so, I'll probably send her just a quick email, just be like, hey, what's up? How's the line art going? That kind of thing. Because obviously, you know, the line art is just the first part. We've got a lot more to do after that. But yeah, you know, it's coming along. I've got the theme and all of that down. It's just a matter of making everything right. But I am excited to show everyone. You know, we'll be doing the proper debut stream and all of that, but I think, you know, I'll probably skip the whole like retweet thing or the model reveal and all of that. I just don't really understand most of that. You know, I'm more of like the HoloLive and whatnot approach. Just show the model. It'll be more interesting to see who actually stops by and wants to hang out. It's all about the personalities, right? Not, which, you know, if you're following me for the personality, you know, Godspeed, I guess. But yeah, but outside of that, you know, we've still got a few more days before I have to go back to work. Next week is also going to be another really light week. I just love this time of year. All of my hours have been cut, so I have more time to actually hang out with you guys after the mad rush that was the holidays. I felt really bad about not being able to stream as much as I wanted for the holidays, so it's nice to be doing what I actually enjoy, right? The other big thing, you know, if you are new to the channel, you know, most of what I play are adventure and exploration, kind of open world types of games. Final Fantasy XIV is obviously a very, very big one for me. That's kind of our mainstay. But for all updates and whatnot, you can always like and subscribe. Got to throw that out there early, I guess. But the other big thing is Blue Sky is now open to the public. You no longer need invites. I don't have to sit on my 5 invite codes anymore. So that is where I do most of my posting these days. I do stream announcements on Twitter and all of that as well, but I don't do much actual like conversation or anything like that over on Twitter nowadays. So yeah, come on over to Blue Sky, hang out. There's a very, very good VTuber community over there. A couple of very big feeds that you can follow. The big one being VTuber Fight Club. You know, that's kind of the interesting... Oh, that one's kind of close, huh? All right, so we're kind of like in the middle of all of this. That's fair. I'm gonna turn down the audio just a little bit. Yeah, we got some background music and stuff going on today. But yeah, you know, the big thing with Blue Sky are the feeds, the lists. You can use lists to automatically block certain amounts of users, most of those being curated feeds and whatnot, so you can find people that you don't want to associate with and use the list to block them. And then there's also feeds, which that's really where most of the content comes from. That's kind of how you curate a lot of your own stuff, is through the feeds. And yeah, VTuber Fight Club, try and find it. It should be pretty easy to find. Just search VTuber and you'll probably get a lot of people asking. But yeah, basically collaborates or collates all of the posts that use VTuber terms, whether it's VTuber, PNGTuber, whatever, and it automatically gives you a feed that is just VTubers. So yeah, come on over to Blue Sky. It's the same as it's always been, just at Wessor, and you can find me over there. You know, I don't usually do a whole lot of the self-promotion thing. You guys that have been with me for a while know that. But with Blue Sky being open, you know, I would like to see, you know, more people show up. I want to see what kind of community we can build over there. Not to say that I'm super active or anything like that. But, you know, if you say hi to one of my posts or something like that, then yeah, I'll probably say hi back. And yeah, do our best. Now, as far as what we're doing out here, I'm mostly searching for double black hole systems or any kind of interesting system with a lot of really dangerous stars. That's kind of where we're at. Like that one right there looks like it's going to be real interesting here in a bit. Because those tend to be the most interesting ones to look at. You know, if I'm going to try getting some screenshots and stuff, then yeah, I want to get some interesting ones. But one of the cool things with this game, you know, I haven't been playing all that long. You know, the game's, what, 10 years old at this point, so, you know, there's always a lot of ruffled feathers and whatnot over on the Reddit. Oh, game dying and Frontiers dying and all of that, which might very well be true. I have no idea. But this is all new to me, right? But the perks of being a former journalist is that I have to learn a lot of things very quickly. And I do a lot of reading, and yeah. One of the cool things that I've learned about this game is that they actually hired physicists as their... Oh, neutron star. Okay, I gotta be careful here. They actually hired physicists to build what is called the Stellar Forge, right? And what that is it is the planet generation system. So if you have played Space Sims before, you kind of know what all of those are about, right? It's how it generates the different planets and all of that. And what's really cool is that they have generated it to be as true to real life as possible. You'll still get some weird bugs every now and then from the olden days, but yeah, because it uses real physics and basically real astronomical science, a lot of these really dangerous systems also tend to be the really interesting ones. You know, when you get two black holes and a neutron star together, all kinds of wild things can happen. You know, I'm sure if you start looking at this game, you're going to see a system called the Collection of Wonders with a lot of really cool planets and a ring white dwarf star and all kinds of stuff. A lot of that is because it has two black holes in it, and, you know, how the galaxy was formed. Those two black holes did some weird things, right? So it's just very interesting. Like, it's you know, not going to be the actual astronomical science, but they definitely took a lot of that into consideration, while still trying to make it as much of, you know, a video game as they can. So that's why I'm down here. Like, I'm like way below the galactic plane. I'm at the center of the galaxy where all of this stuff is formed. Yeah, it's just it's very cool. This is where I like to be. This is where I like to explore. And, you know, being a bunch of undiscovered really cool systems, you can find some interesting stuff out here too, which I really like, and it makes you a lot of money. So there's that as well. Oh wow, what is going on here? Maybe I'm too close to the neutron star. It's giving me feedback. See, things like that. I'm wondering if the planet's maybe not inside its jet cone. Like, things like that. Let's see if I can get in here. I think I might be too close. Yeah, it's having some issues trying to find it because of how fast everything is spinning around this star. Like, things like this, right? Like, that to me is really cool. And it does make some really, really good screenshots eventually. Now, I know, you know, it's a difficult game to stream at times because obviously, you know, I'm having fun with this. You know, I'm trying to scan for all of these different planets and systems and that kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see here. It is way off the map here. Adaptive zoom failed. Yeah, it's gotta be like inside the plane. That's kind of wild. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, as a streaming game, it does basically look like, you know, a spreadsheet simulator of some kind, right? So, you know, we do what we can and have some fun with it. But, you know, I find that games like this do make a really good Zatsu stream, so I figured we'd just kind of come and hang out and chat for a little bit. And who knows, maybe find something kind of cool that's unique and different, right? All right, now the tricky part with this, I do not have my exclusion zones listed. I can turn them on if I have to. Just trying to get a little bit closer here. Not too close. And see if maybe I can't find this planet. There we go. There we go. I don't know where this thing is. It's like hidden behind it. Let's go around here. Here we go. All right, so different angle. There we go. Oh, unfortunately was not in the exclusion zone. That would have been really cool, but you know, it was worth a shot. But eventually we might find one. You never know. You never know what you're gonna find out here. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about this game. Like, everyone has a little bit something different that they can get out of it. I mean, it is technically an MMO, so, you know, if you want to do the grind and the PvP and the PvE raid aspects, like, they announced update 18, which is going to have some new ships and, you know, things like that. You know, you can do all of that, but for me personally, I've said a billion times, I just want a game where I can be a space trucker, and here I am being a space trucker, and I'm loving it. I love every bit of it. So, yeah. Alright, most of the time, black holes, they seem really scary, but in actuality, they're like some of the safest stars you can jump to. Unless you just purposely fly into its exclusion zone, they're really, really easy to move around and get out of because they're so small. But you do get some interesting stuff every now and then. Alright, so we got a double black hole system. How far apart are they, I wonder? Okay, so it's a decent amount of away, huh? We've got a sun here, a class-wide dwarf that's got some rings on it. Okay. Alright, system map. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. My DSS scanner. There we go. You know, I've been kind of waffling a bit on actually scanning all of the things that I need to scan. So, you know, I'm trying to make sure that I have a decent amount whenever I go back to the bubble, which is, you know, where the Earth and most of humanity is located, so that I can turn in all of this exploration data and give a nice big boost to all of my Discord friends and that are doing all of the planet power, like the power play stuff. Power play's like the factional things. Like, it's okay. The issue is I don't know how much it's going to change with the update. They did say that they're going to have some updates with it this year, but they didn't really elaborate too much on what that means. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But I am excited about the updates. Oh, that's kind of cool. Very cool. I have to go look at that one in a little bit. A3, got it. Let's see how far away it is. Like, green gas giants are apparently like kind of rare to find, so they're not worth any more money or anything like that, but it's nice to put on the old map for other people. That's the cool thing with this game, is that it has a really, really involved community. Like, it's not obviously the most popular game in the world, but the community is very dedicated. You've got a lot of longtime players who really genuinely love this game. So there's all kinds of tools and stuff for player-made points of interest and that kind of stuff. Tourism and that kind of thing. Players will make their own expeditions and join up with other players to try and, you know, go and explore a few things out and about, usually with a set travel log. So yeah, if I can find something that might be, you know, an actual point of interest for people, then I'll try and upload it. All right. It used to be that if something was really cool, they would add it themselves into the game. If players found something really interesting, then yeah, the devs might actually make that a real point of interest in the game. Unfortunately, I don't think they've done that in a fairly long amount of time. It would be nice to do things like that again, just to keep the community alive. Like, I don't know how hard it would be to just add a little travel beacon and give it a name, right? Shouldn't be that difficult. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's take a look and see if that really was a green gas giant, or just a cool looking one. No, but it does have atmosphere. Okay. Very interesting. E3. Oh. Okay. The dwarf. Yeah, it's another dwarf. All right. Let's go out here. I need to make sure that I keep enough fuel. on me out here. Where was the one we were looking at? Let's see, so we've got a few. Let's see here. Ooh, 2 neutron stars on that one. Where was it? Trying to see here. I don't think it was this way. It was more. Oh, that one's got like 3 white dwarfs. We've got options. We're like in a decent field right now. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta go check that out. Let's go. All right. And I don't mind this one because it's far enough out that I should have a couple fuel stars along the way. All right. Yeah, you know, I would like to see them add more player-made points of interest and stuff back into the game. One of the cool things that I saw, and I think I talked about this last time that I streamed this, was I saw on Reddit there were a couple, you know, there's always posts suggesting on what players think could make the game better. One of them was player-created, not quite expeditions, but like tourism sales, right? Like that's one of the cool things with the game is that with certain ships you can actually take missions to go out and like take VIP passengers to big tourist spots, and that's really cool. But it would be cool if like players could like take other players or create their own travel like passenger missions. I think that'd be really neat. Like that was one of the cooler ideas I think I've seen on any of those threads before. So yeah, you know, we'll have to see. They said there were a couple of really big game-changing updates, quote unquote. I mean, you never know how that stuff is gonna go, right? But I think it could be interesting. I think there's room for hope, cautious optimism. I do really like the Python Mark II. I don't own a normal Python. For me, it's all about what the ships look like. Like I'm all about the glam, right? And that's really about it. But I really like the Python Mark II. I'm curious if we're going to get another ship that can quite match the Anaconda or the DBX in terms of exploration range, right? Here we go. Let's see if I'm far enough out now. I think I am. Go. Like, I'm not a big fan of like the wraiths, like the crates. Like, I just don't like the weird disc shape. The poor man's Millennium Falcon shape, right? I'm more of the Star Destroyer type. So I really like the Anaconda and the Phantom Mark II. You know, this is very much my style of ship right here. Like that I dig that. Yeah, we got like a lot of cool stars at least. Not a whole lot that's really screenshot worthy, but yeah. I think this is probably some of the closest I've ever seen all of these stars together. Had one, I think, quad system before. Two binaries. All right, now where am I going? All right, and then we got another F class. Fs are always good if you're searching for Earth-like worlds. They need to be a certain luminosity, which there's all kinds of guides you can look at to discover like what luminosity range you should be looking at. But or size range. Maybe it's size, I can't remember. F9s, like F7s to F9s are always good. But yeah. F-stars in general, very good for Earthlights. If you're trying to go out there and make money with exploration, that's probably one of the big things you should look for. Okay, last stop before fuel is exhausted. Oh no, you don't say. Who would have guessed? All right, so we've got 23 bodies. And yeah, you make a decent amount of money. You know, I don't know if you saw in the opening screen, but I've got about 800 million, and all I've done is exploration. I have not really done anything else in this game so far. You make a little bit for being the for scanning using this the detailed surface scanner, or the FSS scanner, I mean. But they also have a detailed surface scanner, so if you find something that looks interesting or good, you can actually fly to the planet and actually use it. I think I've done that a couple of times on stream. We'll probably end up doing it a couple of times here on this stream. There are certain planets that you kind of want to aim for, especially if you're doing first discovery kind of stuff. Mostly, I aim for ones that are worth about 1 million or more. Seems to be about what I end up looking up. There we go. Which is basically anything terraformable. If it says terraformable on it, it's definitely worth it to go and try scanning it. But there are a couple like water worlds and ammonia worlds. If you are the first one to discover it, those are really big payouts. Water worlds that are not terraformable, if it's just a regular old water world, and you are not the first one to discover it, the payout's like 600,000, so it's not small, but I mean, you can kind of use your own judgment on whether or not it's worth it to you. But yeah, once you get out here and really do some deep space exploration, like almost everything around here is not discovered yet. The system that I started at when we loaded up the stream, that one had been discovered because it was the system name was AA-A, which means it was the highest mass system in that region. Most of those have probably been discovered because that's where a lot of the really interesting stuff happens to be. But there's plenty more out here. I mean, there's so many stars this close to the center of the galaxy. I don't think it's even possible to really discover them all. if you're really being honest, right? Okay, and especially nowadays, there's like, what, maybe 5,000 players playing this at any given time, if that. But it is a fun game, so I'm trying to do my part to get people interested in it, I guess, because I just genuinely enjoy it, right? Something a little different. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look here. And let's see if any of them are terraformable. And let's go and I'll show you the DSS scanner. Right. Let's see. Doesn't look like we're having much luck. That's kind of a surprise. Well, okay then. At the very least, we'll get the money for discovering it and using the FSS scanner. You know, you don't actually get credit for it. You don't get your name on it until you actually turn in that data. So hopefully no one else beats me to it. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just money is really the big bonus to it, and having your name on it, I guess. But I've discovered a lot at this point. I do keep everything updated on my EDSM profile, so yeah, a lot of cool stuff over there. Commander Guia O Lynch. Show you how to spell it here in a second. I know most people here are probably not going to be able to spell it, but all right. I think you can find it under Westsor over there too. I can't remember. Can't remember how the EDSM profiles work. All right, how close are those neutron stars? Do we have a binary here? Not quite. Not quite a binary, but close. We got 4 bodies? Really? Where's the 4th one? Because I don't see it. It's 122 light seconds. Okay. Those are fairly close. Yeah, it could be a binary system. 122 light seconds. Where is it? see the black hole. But I don't see the neutron star. That's the black hole right there. Like, I want to make sure that I'm not going to run into it here in a second, right? Unless it's being eaten by the black hole. Interesting. Let's target it and see if we can find it. Okay, so it's one of those. I guess the other two, that other star there, okay. Okay, so that's a little bit further than I thought. Okay. If you really want cool binary systems, you gotta find some that are within, like, less than 10 light seconds away from each other. You get some really interesting stuff when you get out that far. Alright. There we go. Let's open up. Now that I'm far enough away from the black hole, let's open this back up and see what's in the area. Because there were a couple here that looked kind of interesting that I think I missed. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, there it is. There's the one I was looking at earlier. That's fine. Where was that one that had the two white dwarfs in it? See if we can find that one again. That's the downside, is you might never find those stars again. You gotta... We'll have to go back to our original jump here. Alright, let's see if we can find it. I don't mind backtracking a little bit, that's cool. Yeah, that one right there. Alright, it's 3 jumps. Alright, let's go see. This is... The white dwarfs are the most dangerous stars. Far and away. Crazy big exclusion zones, tons of heat. They don't really give you much of a benefit in terms of just, like, if you want to boost your FSD drive, your hyperdrive. They're just scary. All around, just very scary. But they're also very cool. They look almost exactly like neutron stars, so you have to be really careful. You have to kind of know what the tails look like on each one. Like this one we're coming up to is a neutron. Usually their cones are a little straighter. They're not as, like, swirly at the end as white dwarfs are. Here we go. You just kind of gotta recognize it. But yeah, neutron stars, if you are new to the game and you're like, oh wow, I wonder, like, how I can make my way across the galaxy, you will probably learn about neutron star jumps at some point. You can fly into those wings. It'll boost your FSD, and then you can jump 4 times as far as you would normally be able to do it. But you only want to do that with neutron stars, not white dwarfs. You can technically do it with white dwarfs, but it's only like 25% increase or something dumb, right? So yeah. But you also got to be careful that you are flying into the cones. You don't want to fly into near the center of the star. That's what kills you. Right. But what do we got here? Anything good? I want to get it scanned. Okay, so it's probably off of the path just a little bit here. There we go. There it is. Oh, that's very blue. Alright, cool. Alright, one down. I don't typically do neutron boosting all that much. The tricky part with neutron boosting is that you kind of have to manually set everything. One, getting into the cones is kind of wild, because it kind of throws you around a little bit. But yeah, you kind of have to manually plot everything. I don't know, I have a ton of issues every time I try neutron boosting with it trying to tell me that my fuel is not... It's over my weight limit or something like that. Like, it's kind of touchy. You have to do things in a certain order in order for the route settings to actually understand what you're trying to do. But, you know, I've done it a couple of times just to finish up parts of my journey, you know? You're like 50 jumps out from a DSSA station. You're just like, I'm kind of ready to be at a home port, right? Slow down just a bit. There we go. But yeah, most of what I do is just manual. And, you know, I'll do auto route when I'm making long journeys. Like whenever I was leaving the bubble, I just auto routed it all. I just picked a place in a region that looked kind of interesting. Someplace that was really far away, and then I just auto routed it and just kind of searched and looked at the stars that I found along the way. But now that I'm out here, I'll manually plot stuff. Just to see what's out there. Like, that's kind of the whole point. You know, I feel like there are a lot of expeditions and a lot of explorers that just want to go see the big things, right? Or maybe make a few stops in an area and then, yeah, it's time to head back. Like, no, I'll sit here and I'll scan 100, 200 systems in a session. I really have no issues doing that. Like, it really truly is about the screenshots for me. So, you know, it's a long search. It's kind of like that in No Man's Sky. Whenever I'm trying to find the perfect ship for me, right? With the proc-gen, you know, proc-gen ships that they have. And it's the same way here. You know, it's a lot of searching, it's a lot of nothing. And then you find that one system. It's just like, yes, this is it. This is the one that I wanted. And it makes it all worth it. And then you go brag about it on Reddit, because that's just how you do things, right? DAB type star. Okay. How far away are we talking about here? Do you have anything interesting? No. Take a look at the system map, because sometimes the system map will show you if they're ringed or not. And we have a couple normal ones. 332, 336. Oh, only 4 light seconds away from each other. And normally, if it wasn't 384,000 light seconds away, like that would be 15 minutes. I would need to go AFK and just take a break from the stream to do that. But if they were ringed, we would go check it out. But you know, they're not. It's fine. We'll add it to the list of cool things that we found and upload it to EDSM. Let someone else deal with the actual long journey there. Okay. I usually don't check out the black holes that have normal stars in them. Maybe I should start. I don't know. Let's do a little bit longer jump out here. Let's actually make some progress towards Sag A. Like, I'm not gonna get hit at Sag A this stream, more than likely. That's like out there. We're still a good few hours away from that at the current pace that I go. But that is vaguely where I'm headed in the long term. And Sagittarius A is the center of the galaxy. It is the supermassive black hole that really does exist. And, like, that's kind of cool. It's very much an artist's perception of what it looks like, but yeah, it really does exist. And yeah, we're just gonna make our way as best as we can over in that direction. But we're not in any real rush to do it. I don't think Diamond Frogs is really hurting for their power play stuff right now. So we can take our time. Now, if update 18 comes along and kind of wrecks everything, then yeah, I might need to speed back to try and gain some influence with our systems. But outside of that, you know, they're fine. They know more about actually doing things in the game and actually playing the game than I do. I just scan a bunch of stuff and then turn it in for money, and that money helps them. So, you know, they'll have to do without me for a little bit. Yeah, it is really funny going back and reading some of the earlier posts from when I was first posting on Reddit. Like, yeah, I've been playing a week and I just got an anaconda. And everyone's like, what are you doing? You're going too fast. That's way too expensive. How could you? And it's like, man, exploration just makes you so much money. Like, I'm not hurting for rebuy costs if something weird happens, right? All right, so we got 17 bodies here. We'll scoop for a second. Take a look. Anything good? Not really. Yeah, we can skip FSS on this system. That's fine. Like, I've been trying to be a little bit better about FSS, but you know, I don't mind skipping a system or two just to make some headway on our actual journey for the stream, right? I've got plenty of other stars around here I can scan if I want to make some money, right? Once you figure out how the spectral analyzer works down there at the bottom, it makes it really easy just to tell at a glance if anything's really worth your time. It's another one of those things that works just the way that it does in real life. Something we learned about in astronomy class during my first go around in college way back when. But yeah, that spectral graph down at the bottom, it's different wavelengths, different bands of color essentially. And yeah, like your Earth-like worlds will be in a certain part of that that graph. Your water worlds are in a certain part. So yeah, it makes it super easy just to tell at a glance if you even want to bother with it. Like, I'll show you down here. Like, it shows you down in the bottom right, which I guess it used to not. So that must have been kind of weird. But yeah, you can see like your ammonia worlds are right here. Your Earth-like are just to the left of that. Your water world just to the right. Like, basically between these two little points, that's kind of where you want to be on the ruler for all the interesting stuff. And sometimes you'll find things that are like right there on the border. It's kind of worth it to scan it just in case, because you never know. But yeah, I'll scan the big gas giants just to see if any of them are green. And then outside of that, we'll just kind of keep making our way forward, right? How many more jumps do we have? Just one? Oh, 2 jumps? Okay. This is the power of the Anaconda. That class 8 fuel scoop. Look at that. All right. But in other news, you know, outside of this game, like I said, I hope everyone's doing good. You know, we've got next week off. I am wanting to play some different stuff. I need to take a look at Game Pass and see what looks good. You know, the finals, I was kind of thinking about maybe streaming that too. I've just been kind of craving the FPS, and I really like the finals, but ever since they fixed the aim assist and made it a little bit more tolerable for PC players, now I'm like really want to get back into it. So we might do that sometime tomorrow, later tonight. I haven't decided. I've just been on a streaming kick. You know, sometimes you get those bouts of motivation, right? And just with everything that's happened with the VTuber news this week and just life in general, it's just gotten me like super motivated to try and do my own thing. And I don't know if it's just like spite or what, but that does tend to be a pretty big motivator for me. Yeah, I just want to go out and do the best that I can, and you know, really turn this into something that that we can do full time, because I like talking with you guys and entertaining you and being able to produce the work that I want to do without the chains of retail, right? Here we go. All right. Speaking of, I don't know if they've deleted it yet or not, but you know, since I work at a bookstore, if you still are on the Bird site at all, you know, I hate telling people to go check it out, but go check out Freddie Stanellis's page. It's been a wild ride this morning. It's been a wild ride. It's just been a weird month in general for the author sphere, I guess. All right, let's take a look. Let's go scan that Earth-like, or not the Earth-like, the water world. All right, and we got some All right, so we've got some terraformables on the way too, and they're not that far out. Now let's double check none of these here. Okay, so we've got a few candidates. All right, we got basically 3 through 4 is what we're looking at. Yeah, B1 through B4. Yeah, so I mean, just doing this right here, that's gonna be about $4.5 to $5 million. So yeah, let's go do it. Turn on our Super Cruise Assist and just hang out for a little bit, shall we? I might even get a little bit of fuel scooping while I fly over. Not quite. Yeah, it's been a wild month. You know, after everything with the Hugo Awards, which that was a whole mess. Like, I'm not a Worldcon voter or anything like that. I'm not in the Science Fiction Writers Association of America or whatever. Science fiction fantasy writers. I'd like to be one day, but I have not made that much money. I've made a little bit from my writing, but not quite that much. But yeah, that was a whole thing. But it is good to see that next year's Worldcon convention committee is already trying to address a lot of the issues that were popping up, and being like, yeah, this is not how we're gonna run. You know, I saw Ziran J. Xiao has had some issues, both with the Hugo Awards and with their publishing team. So go and support them as much as possible too. You know, I really like Ziran, and I really liked Iron Widow. I really want to read Heavenly Tyrant when it comes out, but now it is up in the air in terms of when it is going to be. So that's a whole other mess. But yeah, you know, when it comes to these kind of things, I'm always going to support the writers, and yeah, just do what you can. But yeah, outside of that, you know, it's just been the usual drama, I guess. I think the VTuber drama is going to keep us fueled for at least a couple more weeks. We'll have to see how all of that turns out. But, you know, like I said last stream, I don't think there's necessarily something inherently bad about corporations. Like I've mentioned several times that I really have no issues with being in a corp myself. I'm going to move myself over here. And continue to kind of be on the lookout for opportunities in that regard. But yeah, it's just this one particular company. It's just misstep after misstep in a way that even other Japanese companies, I don't think, have really made. Like, there's always going to be some cultural differences and misunderstandings between markets, but wow, this goes beyond the pale. It really does. Now, if you're going to be entering the English audience, you should probably understand how the English work culture works, right? Like, that's just ultimately what it comes down to. Other companies realize this. Look at all of the big tech and media companies from overseas, Sony and video game companies that are able to make the transition just fine. And yeah. So that being said, that's all I will say on the matter. We'll leave it at that. Everyone is free to make their own judgments, I suppose, but you know, hopefully the talents will be okay. You know, really all I can say about it. Yeah, outside of that, you know, it's just been a lot of music and reading and trying to find more manga to read. Still slowly making my way through my Sailor Moon collection. But yeah, I need more. Like there's a couple series that I really liked online on like manga decks and stuff. But then, you know, all of the more recent chapters or whatever ended up moving over to Manga Plus. And like, what's the deal with Manga Plus? Like, I really wouldn't mind signing up for an account there, but they only let you read the free things through the app. And that's like, what? Like, I know I can emulate it, like LD Play or whatever, but like, I don't read manga through my phone. Like, I want to be able to actually see the art, like my little pixel. Even for being big for a phone, it's still not big enough for me to warrant like reading comics through it. It's just so weird. Like, just let me make an account on the website, and you know, I would be happy to read stuff through their web browser. It's just so weird. I don't understand it. I get speaking of the cultural difference things, and I don't know if it's just because Japan is a lot more in tune with reading things on their phone. I'm more kind of the opinion that it's probably for phone data, you know, selling purposes, right? And like, if something's free, you kind of have to assume they're selling your data in some way or another. But yeah, it's just so weird. So, you know, my favorite series that I've been reading lately that are kind of, I have to wait for scanlations, right? It's just like they're kind of dead to me until the scanlations get up, because I'm not downloading your app, dude. It's like I'm not reading manga on my phone. It's not happening. You can do anything you want to convince me. It's not gonna work. I want to be able to read it on a big screen. Kind of the same thing with like television stuff. Like, I never turn on my TV these days. I would really only turn it on to play my Switch, and I haven't even done that in the past year and a half. Like, I checked my emails today, they're like, oh yeah, your Nintendo Plus, Nintendo online subscription renewed, $20 for the year or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Whoops. Well, that's $20 gone that I'm not going to use. But I don't want to lose my Pokemon that I've got in Pokemon Home either. So, yeah, like, it's just, the way my room is set up, it's just too awkward trying to sit down and watch TV. There's nothing that I can get on my TV that I couldn't just watch on my computer. Just sitting in my office chair, putting my feet up on the desk and sitting back. Browse on my second monitor while I'm at it. It's just, it's kind of amazing sometimes. Just like how behind, like what viewers actually want and do that some of these companies are, right? Okay, there we go. So this is the detailed surface scanner. You can see down there in the bottom left, it wants me to do this within a certain amount of probes. The probes respawn after a few seconds. You don't have to buy those like you do everything else on the ship. And yeah, you start losing money if you don't get your efficiency target, if you end up going over it. 6 probes and 7 probes I can usually do. It's the big planets, the huge mass planets that are like 8 or 9 probes that I usually have issues with. So so yeah, that's all you got to do to scan the planet. Congratulations, you get lots of money now. Yay. Alright, so this is a little awkward. The other one that I need is like all the way on the other side of the planet we were just on. So I've got to get out of the atmosphere, get out of its gravitational range, right? And then like slowly go around the planet. If I go too fast, the planets are very big. It doesn't look that big when I'm scanning it, but compared to your ship, they're gigantic, right? And if you go too fast, you're just gonna run into the planet you were just at, right? Thankfully, now that we're over here, like, all of these are basically just in a big string. You know, we're not gonna have to travel, you know, 10, 20k light years or light seconds between them. Yeah, it's just, I was saying, it's just kind of odd. Like, I just watch everything through my computer. I never turn on my television. The only reason I really have any kind of live TV anymore is really just for baseball. And even that's kind of scuffed with how the different regional networks work. It's honestly more of a pain than anything. Like, I would like to be able to just get my MLB TV subscription, but they're beholden to your regional providers, which means I still have blackouts for my region. If I bought MLTV, I can watch every other game in the league except my local team. How's that make any sense, right? So, yeah. So that's really the only reason I would have live TV. I can remember my ex and I would joke about it at each other because she was a big TV person. Like, that's all she would do is sit on the couch after work and watch TV. She wasn't out partying or working, right? And she would get so mad that we would start series together, and then I would get so far ahead of her on this stuff, and it's like, well, I don't have a TV in my house, so I just put it up on my second monitor and watch it on my computer. Like, I don't need to sit there watching TV the whole time. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna have a fair amount of money after this. Now, the other thing is, you do get more money the bigger the planet is. So this one's kind of small. We're not gonna get a whole lot. We'll get baseline for this, I think. But if we found one that was like 2 or 3 Earth masses, oh buddy, you're getting a bonus out of that. Here we go. All right, so I need 3 and then 4 next. Okay. This one will be a little bit easier to get to, thankfully. Get out of there. Yeah, when you get close to the planet, like that one's not too big of a deal. It's a landable planet, which is why the normal pilot bar came up. You can see the altitude bar over there on the right. Yeah, if you want to get some good screenshots and stuff. It is harder for a large ship like this to land on these planets. And I do not have Odyssey, so I don't think I have the really cool terrain generation. But it can get kind of spotty. I have auto landing on, but it's still kind of scary. I still feel like I'm going to damage my ship crashing onto the planet at some point. Okay, but yeah, I'm almost done with Hotel Del Luna, and it's down another well of K-dramas. I do need to watch a couple new anime series. Like, I know the winter season has started, and I was really interested in Solo Leveling. I know nothing about it, but I know that we sell a ton of the manga at our store. It's just, this is the weirdest bookstore, man. My area, it's either I sell a lot of manga or a lot of Bibles, and not really a whole lot of in between. And we're also right next to a hospital, so we get a lot of people buying just puzzles so they can do them while they're in the waiting room or whatever. But like, that's like the big two. It's a very, you can definitely tell the age divide in who we have coming into the store. But yeah, we had a ton of people buying Solo Leveling, so I'm kind of curious what it's all about. We also sold a lot of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, but I wasn't a big fan of the manga. I just couldn't get over the art style. For me, art is a very, very big thing. And it was like that for American comics too when I worked for DC. There were just some artists that I just didn't vibe with, right? Like, I know people love George Perez. Like, he's like kind of like this holy figure in American comics, but I just couldn't dig his art. I respected him a lot, you know, and how influential he was to making DC what it is today. But yeah, it's just not my favorite artist, right? I think some of that's generational too. You know, my generation grew up with Jim Lee and some of the other big names like that. So yeah, it's you know, it's the same way with manga. There's just some art styles I just can't get over, and I can't get into those, no matter how good the story is. If it's a visual medium, then I'm paying a lot of attention to the visuals, right? Like, for me, I'm not a big fan of like over inking, like that over inked look that Hanako-kun had, as well as like really sketch details. And I don't mean sketches in like sus, I mean sketches in like they look like they are partially sketched. It's definitely like a choice, and you guys kind of know what I'm talking about if you know, if read a lot of this stuff, right? But it still kind of has that rough hewn style to it. Yeah, just I could never vibe with it. Just was never my thing. Yeah, I think I'm out of the planet's pool there. All right, and back we go. Back again. And you know, that's not to say that like it's bad. It's just not for me in terms of like what I'm looking for. You know, it's we're We're all allowed our different interests, I guess. You know, about a month ago, you know, Blue Sky has a thing called Trash Tuesday. The big cultural thing over there. If you join, which again, Blue Sky is public, follow me over there at WestSword. Like and subscribe to the channel here for more content. The big cultural thing over there is Trash Tuesday, where you come out with your trash opinions, right? It's the weirdest off-the-wall things that other people would consider trash taste, right? And about a month ago, was musicals had to get banned from the trash tastes discussion. People were sick of hearing about opinions about musicals. I am personally not a fan of musicals at all. I cannot stand musicals. And, you know, I would always have people that were like, oh, you just need to find the right one. You need to find one that suits your style. No. No. Musical theater, and just theater in general, was a solid almost 2 decades of my life, right? From the time I was in school to my first go around at college to moving out to Hollywood, I was a trained actor. Like, that was my degree the first go around in college, right? Like, I'm no stranger to musicals. I don't like them because they're bad. All of the music sounds the same, and it doesn't matter if you tell me to go to the one and to find one that suits my style, because all of the style is the same. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Like, I hate the term rock opera, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, this one rocks out. And it's like, you listen to it and it's just like normal musical music, but they have a slightly overdriven guitar playing the most basic riffs you've ever heard of, like the most basic power chords in existence, just like down in the pit. And it, like, that qualifies it as a rock opera. It's like, if I want a rock opera, I just listen to like some Arion. That's a rock opera to me. The Human Equation, that's probably the closest thing I would ever get to a rock opera. But it would never actually work on stage because you wouldn't have Devin Townsend and Michael Ackerfeld there. It just doesn't work. And the reason it all sounds the same is very simple. You know, anytime we would get ready to start up a musical, right? Like, I was in a production of Big River in college, and we did a musical version of As You Like It, and, you know, all of this other stuff. The first thing that we would do before we'd ever do blocking, I feel like I've ranted about this before. I'm going to rant about it again, because I hate musicals that much. I truly do. But yeah, the first thing you would do whenever we would get in for our first practice sessions and all that is, you know, obviously we do our warm-ups and stretches and all of that. And then we would start working on the music. Like, way before we ever started running lines or doing blocking or anything like that, we would work on the music. Because all musicals, they want you to strive for that pitch perfection. And when you strive for that, it takes it all out. It takes out all of the emotion that you're trying to strive to get. Because actual, like, good music, and music that doesn't all sound the same, it's imperfect. That's like the whole point. James Hetfield's voice is imperfect. Bruce Dickinson's voice is imperfect. I'm getting heated again. I'm getting heated again just thinking about all of this. But yeah. So whenever you strive for that pitch perfection, it homogenizes all of the music. Doesn't matter what genre you're talking about. It all ends up kind of sounding the same. It sounds like a musical. And yeah. I just remember... Oh, we still have one more stop. I forgot that we were just kind of like here as a side stop. I just remember going to one of the traveling productions of In the Heights with my ex, because she loved In the Heights and musicals and Lin-Manuel Miranda before he became oversaturated, right? And yeah, it was the most painful 3-hour experience of my life. It truly was. All right, there we go. Like, people get like super surprised that I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. Because I guess being like the Hot Topic kid growing up and being kind of a skinny, tall, nerdy guy, they just assume that like I'm a femboy that wants that loves musicals and being being sassy and whatever. It's like, no, I've never seen Rocky Horror Musical. I would absolutely hate it. I can tell you that without even knowing about it. Like, I love Tim Curry, don't get me wrong. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is 100% not my thing. I mean, you're talking to a guy that never watched Dirty Dancing or Footloose until until well into my 30s, because I thought they were musicals. Turns out they're not. That one's on me. Not watching two classic 80s movies like that, that's on me. They are not musicals, and I actually really enjoyed Dirty Dancing and Footloose. But that goes to show how much I dislike musicals. I think probably the only musicals that I can even really sit down and watch these days would be like some of the old Mel Brooks movies, like Men in Tights. Like that's really about it. I'll be honest. That's about as close as you're gonna get for me. Maybe every couple of years I'll watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's really about it. But yeah. So if you want to take part in Trash Tuesday and have trashy opinions like that, join us on Blue Sky. That's ultimately what I meant to say. There you go. All right, is that one? Yeah, nothing really here. I was hoping for more. We got two neutron stars, but they're kind of far apart. All right, well, let's hit up another system. I have to keep zooming out to make sure that I'm headed vaguely towards the center of the galaxy here, right? Let's go down a little bit. See if there's anything else interesting down here. And let's go out just a little bit. Like, there's enough interesting systems that I don't necessarily have to find the one. It's such a random chance on all of this stuff anyways that I don't think that I could really target anything in particular and have it really be any better than targeting any other system. There you go. Like, the double black hole systems tend to be the most interesting, because you never know what kind of wild stuff you're gonna get. Like, the double neutron star systems seem kind of cool, but like the past couple, we haven't really had a whole lot of luck. They ended up just being really far away. It's like, yeah, they got 2 neutron stars, but now they're not really interesting neutron stars. I feel like double black hole is what we need to look for. And hopefully find something good along the way. Get a fuel stop or something. I feel like we've scanned that one a billion times. We're getting a lot of double neutron star black hole systems, but not a whole lot of double black holes. Interesting. And you know, because of the stellar forge, it could be because of a bunch of different reasons. You know, a lot of these neutron stars, black holes, that kind of thing, you got to be away from the galactic plane. Galactic plane is basically the baseline, right? And then you can go up or down from there. Like, we are really far below the plane right now. Our z-axis is like way down there. Or like at -1,000 or something like that. So, yeah, that's where you start getting all of these kind of systems. And yeah, as you go up a little bit, you'll start encountering a lot more in terms of like Earth-like worlds and stuff potentially. But like I said, I'm after the interesting stuff. I'm after the weird stuff that might kill us. All right. Let's fuel scoop along the way. Once I get there and start fuel scooping, I am going to take a quick break, get some more coffee, maybe find a snack to munch on, something like that. But you know, we'll be traveling a good while. I've got no plans for the rest of the afternoon. I don't even know if we have any dinner plans right now. So, you know, this is what we'll be doing. If you have other trash tastes, I know it's not Tuesday, but you know, We can discuss them today. There's nothing wrong with that. And boom. All right, how many planetary bodies we got? Let's take a look at that first. Let's start scooping, and then look here and see if any of them are interesting enough to scan before I take a break. Nope. Gas giants and a bunch of rocks. All right. Well, I will be back in like 5 minutes, so give me a moment, and yeah. Thanks for sticking with me today on this very slow, lazy Wednesday. And you short it up, Ray. We're good. I just needed some more coffee. I'm actually on like a somewhat normal schedule right now, so this is about, I get my coffee when I wake up in the morning. Then usually after about 5 or 6 hours, I'll have another. Which, I mean, makes sense, right? Like most people, you wake up in the morning, you have your morning coffee, and then you go to work. And then you might have another cup during your lunch break, which should usually be like 5 or 6 hours later, right? So I think it's just the habit of it. You just know it's one of those days when you get to that third round, right? And I've had a lot of those third rounds during these days off. It's a lot of the I have no schedule and I'm completely unchained. So yeah, there's that. But thankfully, we're not there yet. We've we've still got to get through the middle of the day first. Ugh. All right, so this one's a little farther out. I'm hoping once I actually get into the center of the galaxy, we'll get some interesting stuff. I saw there was an expedition starting up soon that's going to visit all 42 regions. And I thought that sounded kind of cool. I've never done one of the player-made expeditions. Like, you just go onto EDSM, and you can make your own expedition, but basically it's just, you know, some people that have some fleet carriers or whatever, they'll get as many people as want to sign up, and usually they go out with a set purpose or something like that. Like, it's an actual expedition. And yeah, they travel together, sometimes for months. Like, some of these expeditions go for 4, 5, 6 months at a time. You know, they'll have a stop, and then they stay there for a couple of weeks so people can, you know, go out and explore, and obviously they've got real lives to worry about and stuff. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, they'll go out to their next stop, that kind of thing. Like, it sounds really cool. I just don't really know anyone to do that kind of thing with. Like, I still haven't collabed with anyone as a VTuber, so going on like a months-long expedition with a bunch of strangers is always kind of iffy. I don't know. It's just kind of the state of the internet nowadays where I'm just kind of naturally distrustful of strangers. Like, I'll talk with people if people want to chat with me and hang out and have a good time, but it's not like I'm necessarily going to join any strange discords or, you know, anything like that, just because you never know, right? I've been in too many experiences like that where it turns out, you know, the people are just awful. And in some cases, maybe I'm the awful one, because God knows I've gotten in plenty of slap fights and said some nasty things in the internet arguments over the course of my life. So yeah, it's just better this way. All right, so we got you can see that, you can really see the black hole moving there. That's a small one. Okay. Are we? Okay. So what's out there? Let's first of all see how close we are to everything. I think that's gonna be our first step. Make sure I'm not gonna run into anything. Oh. Wow, 25 light seconds away. Okay. On star. And just a regular old dwarf out there, out in the middle of nowhere. I want to see if we can see it from here. Yeah, there we go. We're like kind of close to the cones. Yeah. That one's a speedy one. That one's zipping. Zoomies. They're scarier than they are, than they actually are. They look scarier anyways. I mean, yeah, you don't want to fly at the center, but neutron stars. And as long as you're in the cone, you'll be okay. They like the neutron jumps that I've done really didn't take as much damage out of my FSD drive as I thought they would. It was only like 1% per jump, so you can get a pretty decent amount of distance. I don't know if that was on purpose or what. Okay, so we got that. All right, let's start scanning. Let's see what all we got here. Everything's just like dark. Okay. Super interesting. Like, I like doing the FSS stuff because if like that dwarf that we saw a little bit earlier, like it's got rings around it, but if it's got like a huge ring, it'll show up on the FSS scan. You can see it from here. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a wide ring. Okay. All right, yeah, so it doesn't look like it's all that interesting. Oh, that's the black hole. Gotcha. Gotcha. What's this? All right, standard gas giant. Nothing too impressive. Oh, that's yellow. It's the P3S of rocky bodies. So let's try this one. All right. Guessing that is the... Oh, that's the white dwarf. Oh. Interesting. You'd see C2A. Oh man, I bet that's scary. I'm guessing that gets really close to its exclusion zone. Wow, okay. How far away is it? Does it say? Distance 21,000 light seconds, okay. Like, I know there's the planet of death. That's a point of interest. It's an actual planet, and yeah, it kind of has a similar orbit where for only a few seconds out of every only about an hour of every day you can land on it, and then it flies into the exclusion zone of a white dwarf star. That's farther than I thought. Yeah, we're not gonna deal with that. we'll get that uploaded to EDSM and let someone else go explore it. If it was a little closer, I'd give it a look, but we've got other places to be. But yeah, they call it the Planet of Death. Yeah, you can find people to go and land on it for that hour a day. It gives you a really cool view of the dwarf when you're on the planet, but you got to get out. You either got to get out or log out before it goes back in. There we go. I think there was really a whole lot. We're just not having any luck. Dual black hole systems, are we? Nearly as much as I wanted. And I'm trying to stay in a relatively straight line. You know, we might need to go out and explore a couple of different regions out here. Right now we're in Humo. Yeah, maybe some of the other places outside of Humo have some interesting sites, right? Let's see here. You can see the black holes from really far away, but they're very hard to click. Okay, just bear with me while I try finding. It's so hard when there's so many stars in this part of the galaxy. Okay. Oh, okay. That looks interesting. We're gonna click that. 355,000 light years. Okay. 6 jumps. Oh, that was further away than I thought too. All right, got a little bit of a journey. Let's go and see what it's all about, shall we? Very curious. I mean, you know, with our luck, it might end up being that they're all really far apart and there's not a whole lot to see with them, but you gotta explore on the off chance that that's not the case. You gotta get out there and touch death every now and then. All right, I don't like starting my thrust until I'm away from the black hole. Wait a second. You know what I mean? You know what I meant. Oh. All right, let's scoop up. I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm scooping as much as I can, because in this part of the plane, there's so many neutron stars and stuff. You are a little bit more likely to make jumps automated into neutron stars and stuff. Like if you're close to the bubble, you won't ever really have the opportunity when you're auto routing for it to really run you into anything weird. I think there's one very famous neutron star that's in the bubble. We're like on the way to one of the engineering stations or something like that, and then outside of that there's really not too many that you're going to run into, just auto routing stuff. But here, this part of the galaxy, yeah, you're going to run into it. You got to make sure that you got your fuel, so just you know, fly safe out there. All right. There. These are all Rockies. We got a couple high metal content worlds, but I don't really know if it's worth doing a full scan. Usually if it's like less than 20 planets, I'll do a full scan no matter the case. Just because it's free money, right? But once you start getting over 20, like that's really when I start skipping more than usual, right? Like, I'm not gonna do the ones behind the star. It's just I don't want to deal with that. What was that? Non-terraformable. Okay. All right, and since that one gave me an astronomical discovery, anyways, that makes that easy. Make sure I'm above it. Then heat. You want to make sure your heat is under 80. I have not had that issue with the Class 8 fuel scoop. Really not an issue. You can stay far enough out. Just kind of skim the corona there. And you'll still get 600, 700, you know, per second. I can go up to like 1250. And that still doesn't heat me up as much. Now, the last time I was in the bubble, I did buy a dolphin. That thing is cool. I might do my Colonia trip in it. It's sad because there aren't really that many cool skins for it. I'm trying to decide between a dolphin or an orca. I might buy an orca anyways, just because I've got the cash. But man, they are like zippy. They are zippy, zippy, zippy little ships. Like, I don't know who would make it a passenger ship, because every time I like slightly twitch the mouse, like it goes rolling. I'm flinging these passengers against the walls, like stepping into a gravitron. But it is very fun to fly. It's got some good jump range to it. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, shine. Damn. So close. So close. Oh, that's fine. We got a binary system. That's kind of cool to look at least. Let's scan the gas giants, if nothing else, as well. If they're on the route. If they're not, or like behind the star, I'm not dealing with it. Okay. Where were you? Down here, maybe? Hey. Okay, there we go. All right, no greenies. That's fine. Let's go. Yeah, anyways, the dolphin takes like no heat. Like, I'm basically sitting on the star. The fuel scoop isn't quite as large, unfortunately. But the amount of time you save by the fact that it is so fast and maneuverable, like it feels like it evens out a little bit. But yeah, it just takes no heat at all. It's kind of nice. Like, you're just barely gracing the star and then moving on to the next one. All right. What is this? 3 jumps in? All right. I just hope this system looks cool. I don't mind if it's a little scary. That's fine. Give me something kind of creepy to look at. Like, the scariest ones are always the ones where you load in between 2 stars, because it shows you flying through the first star and then placing you on the other side, facing the other star. Those are scary. Those are like crazy jumps. Like, there's no actual threat to you. The game's not going to kill you before you even like load the system, right? But it gives you that little rush. it gives you that mini heart attack every time. All right. So this one has 23, but it's got a lot of really interesting stuff. So we're gonna scan as much as we can and move on to the next one after that. Okay, there we go. Astro clusters are nice because that takes out the whole bunch of that little graph at once. All right, here we go. Water world. Oh, water giant. Damn. Here I was thinking it was going to be a big money system, but I guess not. It was worth a look. It's okay. I can still scan just in case. Might as well. It's still money, especially if any of them are terraformable. Okay. Okay. Well, at least they're kind of cool looking. I like the bright blue colors. Be cool to run into a green one, but no luck. Okay. All right, we got it all scanned. On to the next. Now that we've scooped. All right, on like in a DBX, it's a little bit easier to finish scanning everything because the fuel scoop takes so long that yeah, you're probably going to need to use the FSS scanner just to kill some time waiting for that fuel scoop. Like the DBX, like I do like it. It's a nice little planet hopper. I've been using it a lot just for like short trips outside the bubble, like 2-3K light years, like outside the bubble. But I'm not using it for any long range expedition like this. I know everyone says you can do that, and you can technically, right? Like it has 65, 68 light years per jump capabilities, but the fuel scoop just takes too long. Like I feel like I'm losing out on time using it for anything that's like really out there. I am curious how the dolphin will hold up. I don't know. I might move up to an orca. Beluga I've heard is not that good. Like that's the biggest liner, I think. They're all part of that same line. I kind of want to try an orca. Here we go. This one has a water world. Where are you? Nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's only 7 planets. We can scan them. Who knows, maybe run into some more terraformables here. But yeah, the DBX, like it was a good little starting exploration ship. Technically, if you really wanted to go up to Beagle Point, like the farthest tip of the galaxy that you can get, you could technically do it. It has the jump capabilities to do it, but it would take you so much longer than it would in other ships because of the scoop. So yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot of like really long trips in that ship in a while. But it is a nice one when you just need to get a little bit of money or something. Ooh, and it's a terraforming candidate too. Nice. You know, hop out just a little bit outside the bubble, do a little bit of searching, scan some planets, and then make your way back into the bubble. There we go. And it's a great little planet explorer if you're doing like exobiology and stuff. I don't know much about that because I don't have Odyssey, but it is definitely much, much easier to land than a big anaconda like this, right? So if you are doing like any of the planet landing stuff and scanning plants or whatever, like yeah, a DBX is great. A great little ship for that kind of stuff. Why is it slowing down? Am I getting too close to another planet somewhere, maybe? Interesting. Oh. Did they ever announce what the big Xbox news was? Like, I saw that Phil Spencer was, like, gonna make some big announcements. I heard there were rumors that he was gonna be leaving as head of Xbox. I don't have one. I was just kind of vaguely curious what all was going on with it. I might have to take a look at that news a little bit later. All right. Yeah, aside from that, you know, I haven't really done a whole lot this Wednesday. I basically woke up, did a little bit of No Man's Sky until I hit the bug, and then did the stream here. But, you know, I'm trying to keep up with the gaming news. It's just, there's really nothing that I've seen that I really want coming out this year other than some PC ports. I'm really just kind of curious to see what kind of news is out there and maybe find something new to play. But it will be nice to get back into the finals this week. I really, really like it. Like, I'm not a big FPS player, as you guys know, but sometimes I get that urge. It's really about finding the right FPS, right? And I feel like the finals has definitely hit like a lot of the things that I really enjoy with it. It's surprising that I have not heard that much buzz about it. Like I have not seen all that many people streaming it. It's not really getting very big, like especially in the VTuber community. I haven't really seen a whole lot of people playing it, but it is a really good FPS. And I've had a lot more fun with it than I've had in other FPSs in a while. Probably since Overwatch's initial release. So, yeah, I'd like to try and do what I can to help people hear about it, because I think people would really, really like it once they get into it. It's just got style, man. It's just got a lot of style points. And I know it's from the people that create, or former people that made Battlefield. There's a bunch of devs that I think left the Battlefield team to go do this instead. Yeah, it's just it's fun. The matches are like well timed. They don't drag on too long. There's not too many situations where overtime becomes a big issue. Like that was a big thing with Overwatch, right? It was like overtime could drag on for a really long time. You don't really have that in the finals. There's the overtime stuff is pretty short overall. There is an overtime, but it's nothing too bad. Basically, if you put in a cash box, it's going to always let the cash box timer roll through. So you will always have an opportunity to take that last cash box no matter what. They're not going to stop the match in the middle of a countdown. But outside of that, it's really not too bad. That's what, a minute, 90 seconds, something like that. Yeah, let's scoop up. Do we have another binary system here? Sorta. It's kind of far away. Not too close, not too far either. Let's see, let's get a little closer to the center here. I stopped like way too far away. Sometimes, you know, you don't even have to stop. You can just kind of skim it. Yeah, see? And point yourself out. And you're good to go. What I really want is HOTS to come back. I said this earlier this week. I want more HOTS. I saw that, like, some of the holo memes were playing, oh, here we go. This is the double black hole, triple A system. I'm sure someone else has scanned this. I have to imagine it has been. Most of the AAA systems have been scanned by now, but we'll hope for the best. Yeah, I saw they were playing League of Legends. I can't do League of Legends. I can't do MOBAs where you gotta like buy items and stuff. HOTS was nice because it was just a team-wide leveling, no items, just really fun maps and really wacky characters. And I just want that again. I want that back. Give it back. Okay, this is an interesting. Oh, so that one is like located right next to a black hole. Weird. That's kind of cool. All right, we're like dangerously close to that one. You can see it spinning around there. Yeah, so you can see all of that stuff says unexplored. If it pops up with the planets, then it's already been explored. Yeah, see, Alina is a grim. But it doesn't look like they actually like explored. Okay. They scanned everything, but did they explore it? Did they actually go through and look, right? Like, I'm real curious about that double black hole system over there. The binary black hole neutron star. That's interesting to me. Like, I don't know if the game can even possibly handle it. Like, I don't know if the engine can render it, but I want to see a black hole eating a star. Like, that's what I really want, more than anything else. And I don't know if that's possible in this game. Yeah, and you can see it moving, because I'm still technically moving at 30 kilometers an hour, so you're still moving around. Go in Super Cruise, or maybe it's 30 million kilometers, I don't know. Whatever the measurement is. If you want to stop, you have to stop. There's a couple systems where like you need to actually like physically stop the entire ship to 0. But most of the time it's not too bad. Most of the time you got more than enough time to get out of whatever danger you're in. Yeah, someone dropped you pretty close to the exclusion zone, so you gotta get out in time. Okay. How close are we? Full of everything here, huh? Sucks it was already scanned, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, that one was already... She actually did scan it. And... Sucks that it was already found. Like, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Who is out here just scanning all of the AAA systems, man? That's dumb. Right. Like they aren't, like as far as I can tell, they haven't scanned anything else either. Like these are all new names. Like who is out here? Where are, like what are you doing? I have to assume maybe there were people that came with the DSSA carrier that was close by. And they're like making their way to Sage like I am. Like we're out here. Like there's nothing around. It took me like 3 days just to get to this point. I don't know what's up. Okay. You got this triple system here. 508, 503, 500. All right in a row. That's scary. All right. So we're gonna do this. We gotta be careful about it. Okay. Let's yeah, we're going full manual on this. Right. Out of its way. Wow, is it inside the actual zone? Can't tell. The bubble's so weird. Well, only one way to find out. I can't tell if it's just the light warping it. What? Now the other question is, I need to double check this. Is this a white dwarf or is it a neutron? Or is it both? Neutron stars and a white dwarf. Oh ho ho. Oh ho. Alright, and how are we gonna approach this? This is tricky. Let's try going around the black hole first. I want to make sure it's not just like warping the light. Oh, okay. I got to turn on my exclusion zone warnings here. This is gonna get dangerous. 79 light seconds. 83 light seconds. How am I gonna approach this? Because I want to make sure that I'm not getting too close to the cones either. Like I don't know what's gonna happen once we actually get in there. Hit those cones, I'm toast. Okay, I've got heat sinks, so I'm not worried about that. I can't tell what direction the cones are going. Okay, so they're not quite. Let's zip around here. Now this is the nice thing compared to No Man's Skies. It's all, there's so many different manual ways to fly. You can kind of make your adjustments as needed. The problem is I've lost sight of the black hole. Where did the black hole go? Assume that's it, right? Make sure. Okay. So that's the black hole. But it looks like they're just outside the stellar area. Black holes are so small, it would be pretty hard to actually get into. I don't want want to speed up too much. See if we can get a cool screenshot here. You can get close to it. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's gonna start bending the light as we start going like into the exclusion zone area where you're close to it. Should pop up with like a bunch of stars surrounding it. It's automatically like, there we go. Oh, don't go quite to the middle here. All right. I'm sorry if I'm being quiet. I'm like trying to make sure I don't die here and lose all of this data that I've got. There we go. No, I'm not quite in it. It should pop me out. It should like give me a heat warning and all of that if I start getting too close. There we go. See, now we're starting to get the lensing. Let me pop this back on, make sure that got my distance right. It should pop up with a green ring once I'm like in the exclusion zone or close to it, right? Here we go. Careful here, the heat. See, it's automatically popping me out so that I don't get too close to it. There we go. There we go. Very nice. I gotta find those other two, right? Give me any cool effects? Man, that doesn't. It's kind of surprising. Me see here. How's my heat? Still looking good? See, I think I'm already out. Yeah. It already popped me out, unfortunately. Alright, but that's still kind of cool. So let's get a screeny. And then... Alright, well... Had high hopes. I had such high hopes. Unfortunately, they're just out of range of each other. That would have been really cool. I mean, the black holes are so small, I guess it's not really that much of a surprise. But it would have been nice to actually, like, sit in the exclusion zone and see how it warps the light, right? I don't know if I can get a screenshot like that. Like, you get close to it, right? Let me see what it does whenever I try and orbit it. Yeah, see, it orbits me like way out. Fortunately, yeah. Not much to be done about it. You've really got to like force yourself into it. That's not the safest thing to do in the world. But I want to give it a shot. So let's see if I can get in there and actually like sit there for a second, right? Like, I can turn off my Super Cruise Assist if I need to. Turn off my Super Cruise. I don't know if that'll be deadly or not, but we can give it a shot. Warp the light. Warp the light. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There we go. That's a much better screenshot. Let's give this a look. There we go. That's cool. Yeah, that's much cooler. What kind of screen do I want here? I don't want... How's that? Tilt it maybe a little more. All right. Let's turn this on. Very cool. Very cool. That was worth it. That was worth the trip so far. Very nice. All right, now to get out of this. That's going to be a whole other thing. All right, I got to avoid the other black hole too. Interval. All right, get out of here, buddy. Let's escape. Let's escape all of this, shall we? There. All right, not bad. I mean, previously discovered system. That was a little disappointing. I don't recall like seeing any cool screenshots of it, so I don't know why they didn't screen any of it. All right, and then only one other thing left to do, and that's find the next system. Yeah, I think that was a worthwhile pit stop. Okay. All right, where to next? Where am I going on my journey to Sag A? Guess I could. Like, how far is Sag A? Let's take a look. Sagittarius A. It's about 3,000 light years away. How many jumps is that? I'm guessing 150. Why is it making such a weird noise? Oh, only 53. That's kind of surprising. Huh. Interesting. Well, we're gonna clear that because I'm not headed there quite yet. We are making our way there, but it's not on the agenda for this stream. Maybe next stream, or I'll just post screenshots on Blue Sky or whatever, right? Okay. Anything else interesting? We got all of these stars. All of these stars, all of these black holes. Yeah, it just feels like it's really only going to be the AAA systems that are going to have the really cool stuff because they've got the biggest gravitational mass, right? I think that's how they decide the names, right? It's the solar masses of the system. So obviously, the AAA systems will be the heaviest, which means they would have the bigger stars and all of the cool planets and stuff, right? Maybe I should go north a little bit. Maybe I should head out over in this direction instead of looking directly at Sag, right? Like, it seems like whoever was charting all of this before was doing it on a trip over there. Let's go off the beaten path. We can kind of loop our way around over there if we really want to. That one might be kind of interesting. It seems like, I mean, that system we're in right now seems like the best chance we would have had of getting to see a black hole eat a star. It seems like the planet generation, the Stellar Forge, cannot render something like that. So I guess we're just kind of out of luck as far as that's concerned. But it was worth a shot. It was still very cool to see. And very scary. But yeah, we at least now we know. And we got a cool screenshot, so why not? We are in Waymo AAA. All right, off we go. Goodbye. That was a fun black hole. But yeah, it's interesting that it literally won't let you hit the black holes. Like, I knew that they were the safest. Like, they're the scariest looking. Everyone was saying, like, yeah, they're like the safest things you can possibly jump into. And now I know. Like, you literally cannot run into them. The game forces you away from it. Like, it forces you around it. So that's good to know. I mean, maybe if I aimed directly at the eye, it would have been different, but I really didn't see anything that would have been like, hey, yeah, you can definitely go here, right? Alright, so here we've got a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of bodies, a lot of rocks, but some of them might have potential. We're gonna scan it because I want money. If only they were not that scary in real life, right? Like, could you imagine running into that thing in real life? Like, I wonder what it's going to be like if we ever eventually can explore the stars like that. Just like all of the wild ways that a person can die out in the black. All right. Here we go. That was one of the interesting things about Interstellar. Like the whole, oh yeah, going into a black hole lets you see time. I don't think that's how it's really going to work. But, you know, it's an interesting theory. It's fun in a book. So, I mean, from what I understand, you would eventually lose the concept of time. As you are eternally pulled into a longer and longer string of a person, right? There we go. Let's see. Don't think we had any Earth likes, unfortunately. It was worth a shot. What do we have here? Got, was that an ammonia world? We do have one ammonia world at the very least, so let's go and take a look at that. See if it gives me anything interesting. And that's like 1.2 million. Why not? Really no reason not to. It's not that far away either. Cool. We're done fuel scooping. Let's get out of here. All right. Oh. Around that star that we were just at. Get away from it. There we go. Nice. Kind of cool how you can see all the stellar dust the closer and closer you get to the center. This becomes just yellow everywhere. Honestly, I mean, it's cool looking seeing all the stars. I could do without the yellow all over the place. Ugh. And how many jumps do we got? 4? This could be an interesting one. It has potential. 2 black holes and what, 2 neutron stars, I think is what it was. Kind of surprising it wasn't a the AAA system, but you never know. Alright, give me that money. Yeah, what I did with the black hole, though, you cannot do with the white dwarfs. That I can tell you for certain. That will kill you. I don't know, maybe it was just that particular black hole, too. It seemed kind of weird. Last time I just, like, flew right at the center. Then it just kind of surrounded me in the bubble. I don't think that it, like, pushed me away like that. That's the first time I've been pushed away by it. Is interesting. Like, we still had the light warping around it, like, trying to get out. That was kind of cool. But it felt like it was pushing me away in terms of, like, the controls. I don't know if that really translates onto the screen when I'm doing this stuff. There we go. But that's what it felt like controlling it. Yeah, that didn't happen last time. So yeah, it could have just been that one. All right, there we go. We got what we came for. Where's away from the planet? Behind me, yeah, you can see it kind of poking out there. You gotta get around it. Thankfully, you can kind of skim pretty close to the surface in a lot of these cases and still be able to reach your warp point. Right. What was this, an F class? Looks like it. Right, how many we got here? I'm just really surprised that all the, jumping through all of these, like, intermediate stars along the way to the black holes, I really haven't found any Earth-likes. I thought that, like, some of the F-class would. But they're kind of rare, I guess. I mean, I've found plenty in my time. I mean, you don't make 100 million in exploration not finding them. But, I thought they would be a little bit more common than they are. I suppose if I really wanted to, like, go out here and actually search specific for them, there's more than enough stars. I'd probably find them out and about. I'm not looking specifically at F-class, but there's enough here. You'd find something, right? Really, the only normal stars I'm finding are just the intermediate ones in between plot points. Everything else is just black holes everywhere. And that would be cool, finding Earth-like in a black hole system. Wonder what that would be like. Okay. Well, sometimes M-class can. Oh, only one. Now that's something I have not seen, like, hardly at all, is just one solar body systems. Like, down here, there's so many rocks and so much dust around that usually there's something. Some rocky bodies or, whatever sitting around. Really, only the systems that have, like, double newts that I don't find any kind of rocky bodies or at least a gas giant. Kind of odd. I should make a habit of taking a look at the system map so I can see if there's any notable stellar phenomena, because those are always fun. Most of the time they're just like crystals sitting in a gas cloud just out in the middle of nowhere. And, they make good screenshots, and sometimes you can get some interesting stuff out of it. Go in, scan them, get a little bit of money that way. Add to the old astronomical discovery list. Okay. Here. Usually they'll pop up there. Oh, like 4 binaries in a row, okay. Or 2 binaries. Yep. All of this one. I think the next jump should be it. Maybe it's 2 more. There we go. Yeah, it's the next jump. Ugh. They talk about space madness sometimes. I don't really get the space madness. But that's probably because I'm not actually out in space. I've always got the streaming stuff or, you know, a show or something on the second monitor. But I don't know, I'm basically in a room most of the time anyways, so it's not like I don't experience it, you know, being alone by myself most of the time anyways. Okay. So only those 4. Fortunately, nothing super interesting here, and one of them's like really far away. Yeah, it's another, and even those are kind of in light seconds away from each other. Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately... Yeah, let's see if we can flip it around and take a look at them at least. But yeah, it's probably a binary, but they're a fair distance away from each other. Usually the true binaries are like a couple of light seconds tops. Yeah. Okay, so they're like close-ish. Not as cool as some of the others that I've seen, but you know, a decent view out among the stars, right? Get a nice screenshot there, I guess. It is kind of cool to see all of the stars out and about. Yep. And I'm not on ultra either. I don't know why I'm trying to get screens when I'm not on ultra mode. I mean, I guess I could try turning it on. Last time it really started having some issues with the stream, right? There we go. Let's try this again. Back to game menu. Maybe now that everything's up and running, it won't have as many issues. I honestly didn't notice too much of a difference. Like, the game looks pretty good anyways. There you go. Yeah, they still kind of have that weird look about them. That's fine. That's cool. It's probably because I'm not close enough for it to render the spiral tails, right? Got to get the little whooshy whoosh animation. Wild that the stars are spinning around them, though. I don't remember them doing that. That's not the black hole, is it? No. Can't be the black hole. Maybe it's just because I'm too far out. Yeah. And you just got ourselves in slowly. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Cool little binary system, though. I don't know what that deal is with the weird warping on the tail of that one. Huh. Oh well. Alright, what else we got? On to the next. This is the life of an explorer. Basically going to a place saying, huh, that's neat. And then moving to the next spot. You know, the bar for what is neat and what is not, it shifts. It shifts quite frequently when you're this far out. Things that used to impress you become numb. That's the curse of the explorer. You can no longer enjoy the simple things in life. All right, what do we got here? I got like a lot of patches of black holes out here. We're still in the Waymo system, so they're not going to be as big as the ones we've already found. You know that much. That doesn't mean they won't be interesting at the very least. Should always take a look. I just might as well see. Never know when that'll change. Never know when we'll get to another region. Go. Oh wow, that one's got a lot. Lot of stars. Huh. Pretty decently sized ones too. Might be a decent spot. You know, I haven't really found a whole lot that's like interesting to look at in systems like that, but you know, not like we got anything else going on, I guess. Take a look. Yeah, let's head over there. Just see what's going on with it. I don't know. If anything, maybe try and find a planet that we can land on or something like that for some good views. You never know. All right. How many jumps out is it? 3? Yeah. Oh god, we're jumping into a white dwarf. All right, so if you've not seen me jump into a white dwarf yet, here's the scariest jump in the game. Well, aside from ones where you're jumping into a primary, like between 2 stars, those are scarier. They look scarier. This is scary in that it can actually kill you if you're not fast enough. Like, you don't want to go AFK on one of these jumps because just the basic 30 million miles a second or whatever is enough to kill you. Right, there you go. Get around it. Yeah, I gotta fly around the tail here. A lot of bodies though. Yeah, that is a white dwarf. That one, it jumped us a fair amount of distance away. Some of them, they get you real close. Some of them, you're tasting death coming out of that warp. Right, let's wait until it's behind us here. Cool. Now we're far enough away. Yeah, you can see, even though I'm still a fair amount of ways away from it, it was still pumping my heat up to about 60. Like, that's why they're dangerous. They're so hot. They're so hot. In the exclusion zone, it's way bigger than you think it is. So, like, before you know it, you're, like, at 120% heat if you're not careful. Your ship's just, like, burning alive. This is nice. This is nice. Nice, friendly yellow star. And just scoop it. Turn on the old FSS while we're at it. Just, you know, hang out. Like an old friend. Here we go. Alright, what do we got here? A gas giant, that's really about it. A couple rocky bodies. Nothing of note. But, you know, we get fuel at least. We gotta be careful. You know, outside the bubble, because it's close enough to the plane, the galactic plane has a lot of dwarfs. You cannot scoop most dwarfs, right? And there's a really big region, and I think I did it on one of my first Elite Dangerous streams, where it's just like a sea of brown dwarfs, right? Out here, it's kind of the opposite problem. You don't have too many dwarves. You got a bunch of big, scary stars to look at, but you might hit a patch where you're hitting, you know, 3 or 4 white dwarfs or neutron stars in a row with if you're auto riding. So you gotta make sure that you're scooping when you get the chance. I try and make sure that I'm not going more than 2 or 3 jumps before I start making my way to a fuel star at some point. It's the exact opposite kind of problem that you have near the bubble area. I know there was one mad lad that was searching for like Earth-like worlds in dwarf systems. A couple mad lads doing it, I think. And I don't think they really found any. I think one of them found one after something like 2,000 dwarfs scanned. And the other guy didn't find any. They posted about it on Reddit. And yeah, that's just crazy talk. There ain't no way. I like exploration. I'm not doing any kind of weird. I'm not doing any kind of weird the research like that. I'm just trying to find cool screens. About it. Oh, all right. What do you got here? At least one of the stars is scoopable if I need. Oh. Away we go. Another day, another black hole. All right. Now the question of what do I want for dinner? I've been craving pho. I don't know. It always hits the spot, right? Like it's hard to go wrong with pho. It's never a bad time to have it. But I am quite hungry. Oh, wow, so this is like in the middle of a bunch of stuff, huh? Interesting. Neutron star. Yeah. No planets. I was hoping for some planets. Like that's really kind of what makes these kind of systems worth it to me is having those planets to look at. Maybe land on one, get a cool little tourist spot. No luck this time. But, you know, we made our way over here, so we're in kind of an interesting region with a lot of black holes and stuff around it. Is anything else that's kind of cool here? Want to go down or do I want to go up? Yeah, let's go down a little ways. And start making our way back over to the Galactic Center. We're close. We're so close to it. And we'll have a new region discovered. Double loots. Here they're kind of promising, but not quite what we're looking for. Hey, oh, cool. Man, single black hole systems, they're the worst. Look at how many stars there are, man. That is this. I can barely click on anything. Like I know I can filter out, but that defeats the fun of it, right? Like I don't want to potentially miss out on something interesting because I'm filtering out all of the cool options, like all of the just normal options. So I found, you know, super giants and that kind of thing, or just like normal giant stars and stuff. They really shine when you look at them. Oh, there we go. Wait, was that the one we were just at? Oh, because that's got a different route, right? I haven't scanned that before. 5 jumps out? So it's another AAA system. I'm guessing this one's been scanned too. If someone is out there scanning all the AAAs, but I mean, we'll go take a look. We'll see what it's all about. The Collection of Wonders. It doesn't list all of the stars. It just, when you look at it, it just says 2 black holes. If I remember right. I think I bookmarked it. All right. But yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in there. I think it's got a nude. I know it has that famous ringed white dwarf, or ringed, yeah, the white dwarf star that's like massive rings, right? So yeah, it does not list everything necessarily. Now, at the very least, until it is fully discovered, as far as I know. So yeah, you might as well check them out. Just some, we'll scan it a little bit while we're scooping, but nothing super interesting here. Just a couple metal rich bodies and that's about it. A couple high metal content worlds, I guess. Yeah. Fuel scooping's done. Our way around. Any notable stellar phenomena? Oh. Right. I'm going to a G class. G's not bad. Sometimes you can find Earth-likes around G class. They're a little rarer than F class stars, but you know, they're out there. But yeah, I have to imagine. I mean, the game isn't as big as it once was. But a lot of these regions, I mean, the game's 10 years old, and there were a lot of people that went out exploring. I have to imagine someone out there was just going through and using the search function to just search for all the AAA systems, just scanning as much as they can. Which is a little disappointing, you know. But you know, maybe they never posted screenshots on Reddit. that's our goal for now. Anything good? No, just gas giants. Okay. Scoop. When in doubt, scoop. Man, this star must be huge. I don't know why it was slowing down so much, trying to go over it. Hurry up. Yeah, you can tell we're getting close to the galactic center. Why is it? I don't know why it tells me to slow down like that sometimes. I assume I'm in the pathway of a planet or something, but usually it just goes away after a second. I'd like to find a ringed Earth-like. Those are really cool. Those are like the rarest thing you could find in the galaxy. I found plenty of Earth-likes. I've never found a ringed Earth-like. The only one I've even seen was, I think, a DSSA carrier was nearby one. Get nice and easy over it here. I can't really see the corona with how yellow everything is right now. Want to make sure we're not going too crazy here. Alright, so I think this is our last normal jump. We'll make sure we're nice and full up. And then, yeah, we'll see what this double black hole system is all about. But, you know, it hasn't been a complete waste. I mean, we've been at it 2.5 hours. We found one system that was kind of cool. It would have been nice to have a cool tourist, like, planet spot just outside the black hole area. We could, like, land on and get a cool screen, but can't win them all. I don't think I've ever seen a planet that close to a black hole. That would be kind of rare, I think. But, you know, there is the world of death, like inside the exclusion zone of a white dwarf, so strange things can happen. With how the Stellar Forge used to work and some of the bugs that it introduced, I mean, you get some interesting things. I know there's a Wolf Kepler, or whatever, kind of star that's completely black. Like, it was a bug in the system. So it's supposed to be an extremely hot star, a very large, very hot star, that for whatever reason, it only has a temperature of like 113 Kelvin, which is, I mean, that's nothing. So yeah, the star is just completely black, since the temperature determines the luminosity in the game. It's kind of cool. It's a player-made point of interest. I think it's called the Black Star, if you go search it up on the various sites, right? All right, what do we got here? And so we're kind of close to it. Yeah, you can see they've already been discovered because they showed up on my mini-map almost immediately. And that's dumb. But yeah, looks like there might be a water world here, so we'll give it a shot. See if it's already been looked at. If it has, I'm not going to bother with it. Yeah, it was discovered by, but it was not scanned. Okay. What else is here? Anything interesting? 2 black holes, bunch of other stars, smaller stars. Well, gas giants. Oh, that's kind of cool. Got a ringed M class. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. We'll give that a look. But there we go. Oh wow, I was like a lot closer to the lensing than I thought. Let's see what this is like. I've never seen a ringed M class. Here, yeah. I make for an interesting screenshot or something. Yeah, see, this is the kind of thing that you get though from these double black star system, black hole systems. It's just the really weird stuff. Kind of cool. And yeah, just some ring dwarfs. Go. Where's the water world? Okay. Now that we're away from the black hole, should be smooth sailing. But yeah, you know, it wasn't quite the sights that I wanted to see. I think that one system was pretty cool, just because it was kind of weird. It's not something you see a whole lot of. A black hole with a binary white dwarf newt system right next to it. It would have been cooler if they were inside the lensing area or the exclusion zone. It would have been really, really cool if they had actually modeled it so it was eating the stars. But yeah, nothing really interesting in terms of the like landable planets or like viewpoints or anything like that. So, you know, a bit of a bust. But considering it took me 3 days just to get out here, and then I only found that one system that had the white dwarf newt A-class all in a row with a bunch of landable planets like near it that you could land on and get a good view of. I mean, it took me a long time just to find that, so I'm not really expecting to find one every time. I think I'm more disappointed that all the AAA systems that I found so far have already been explored. I think that's probably the more disappointing part to me. The only way that could happen when there's so much unexplored out here is if they were specifically like typing up the region name and searching for AAAs. That's the only way that I can imagine something like that happening. Which I guess that's technically exploration. But like I feel like for me, exploration is about really just kind of going off the beaten path. Like finding the weird stuff out there. It's not about just searching up certain system names and then collecting them all in your resume or whatever, right? Like, I don't really like the idea of just like searching specific types of systems and then just beelining for all of those and then calling yourself an explorer, right? Like I guess in the early days, maybe that was different when it was all new. But nowadays it just feels like that's just achievement hunting at that point. I don't know if I would call that exploration. I mean, you get to discover some cool stuff, I guess. But, you know, nothing I can do about it. Everyone's got their own things in the game, I guess. All right, so we got to be kind of careful here. I want to make sure that I'm not getting too close. Have to turn off the Super Cruise Assist at some point. how big are the rings? That's the big question. It doesn't look like they're too huge. It almost looks like they're almost transparent, right? That's kind of interesting looking. They're not going to be huge rings. Like, I really want something like you see on Reddit, those screenshots of white dwarfs and stuff with just absolutely massive rings. I have no way of I don't know how you can actually tell the different, like the radius of the rings. But that's what I want to find. Like, I know you can scan the rings if you know what you're doing, but I have not been able to do that yet. See, this doesn't even look like it has rings. Now that I'm next to it, right? Where's the rings? Where's the rings? It shows it has rings. I don't see the rings. That's disappointing. Unless I'm missing something here. Unless they're just really that small. Maybe like taken up inside the like they're inside the star or something. Or they're really, really far out there. Yeah, I'm not seeing them. So this ended up being a bust. Well, you live and you learn. All right. Well, I think at this point we have explored. We have found some interesting things to look at. One interesting thing to look at, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Thanks a ton, everybody, for hanging out with me on this Wednesday. We'll be back again tomorrow with something different. I don't know what. I'm gonna stay out here a little bit, explore the black, but I need to get something to eat. So, you know, I'll see you out there and among the stars eventually. But yeah, you know, I hope everyone gets a chance to, you know, give this game a shot. I do really, really enjoy it. It was only $5 on Steam sale. I don't think it'd be worth the $40 that I think the normal price charges. But it's definitely gotten me my $5 worth, to say the least. I've already spent probably a couple hundred hours in this game. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, definitely if you get the chance, give it a look. And, you know, try and see what you can find out there. And there's more to do than just what I'm doing. Like I said, what I'm doing is probably like the least interesting aspect of the game that you could stream, right? Like, if you want to do PvP and combat and stuff, it's got plenty of that to go around. If you want to do trading, you can do that. You can make a lot of money from the trading stuff. There's missions and all kinds of stuff in the bubble. I've barely even shown any of that on the stream. But, you know, I've had fun just doing this. I think the game has a lot to offer, and I'm trying to do my part to boost its signal a little bit. But that being said, yeah, we're gonna get in here and probably get far enough away from this black hole. There we go. Another system like we had earlier. Wonder. This one actually has some planets. Interesting. Well, a planet. One singular. And that's not even technically a binary system, huh? Oh, maybe it is. They're like kinda close. All of this stuff is like really close together. 9, or like 4 light seconds apart, but yeah, they're too close. They're too far away from the black hole to really be as interesting as the last one. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head out here. But again, thanks a ton, everybody. Once again, like and subscribe. We'll be back with different content tomorrow. We might actually do the finals, or maybe catch up a little bit more on Final Fantasy VIII, see where that's going to take us next. But that being said, enjoy the rest of your middle of the week. Enjoy your Wednesday. Get some rest, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.